Welcome to the show where we don't get hyped, we stay hyped. Sometimes. Wow. Welcome everyone, my name is Nick, and with me I have, once again, our first guest reappearing again. We have Tom.
Never learn.
And Dimitri.
Hey.
Yeah, Greg and Mike couldn't join us this week, but that's okay because it's just funny. This was the meeting between Tom and Dimitri was a long time coming, so I figured the first way we do it is through the show.
2015, baby, meeting people through the internet.
I know, we're so damn progressive. And,
brings people together.
Always. And the topic of today is we're getting on that hate train. We're going really hard. There's a lot of hate. We drinking that haterade really strong. More specifically, I want to mention we're probably hating on the hype of games, either games that are out currently that we're not really too fond of, or maybe we just don't understand it. And later on,
I think we each have some things on our list that kind of gets us going. Like especially for me, if I see it online, or if I see an article or something like that about it, like something specific, you usually have a trigger for me.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna be dousing fuel on that fire. And later on, we will mention games that are coming out soon, but don't really understand the hype for it. We're not buying in or selling out.
I was just about to say Seth Rollins shout out.
Oh, there's too many.
Yeah, we got to get that wrestling reference in. So.
Luckily, all people in this group are a sort of level of wrestling fans. So if you're not into it, too fucking bad. You got to deal with it. Actually, I'm just kidding. I don't want to lose our viewership. Please stay. But, so let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's talk about some of the games that we dislike and that we maybe just plain out hate. And I'll go ahead and kick it off just to kind of get the ball started. Now, oh man, I just don't get it, and I know many people that will, and maybe Dimitri might be on the same boat too. Sorry, Tom, but Animal Crossing? What? I don't get it.
Starting off strong and hateful.
Man.
I like it.
No, Alright, I kind of get it, but it doesn't. There's nothing that really appeals to me.
Yeah, I'll back you up. I've never played an Animal Crossing game, so I guess that's like such an internet thing. Like, oh, I hate this, even though I've never played it, kind of thing.
But I think, maybe you can give us an explanation, Tom. Like, if you want, because it just seems like a Second Life thing. You're doing more of the same. It just seems like a lot of work to me. Am I just being a little naive about it?
It's hard for me to defend it based on really any kind of quantifiable merits. It's just whimsical and charming, and you're doing kind of repetitive tasks, but you're doing them in a really quirky village setting with animal characters. And I don't know, it's cool, and you get a sense of accomplishment. I never played like Farmville or any of those Facebook games, but I guess it might deliver that same type of satisfaction.
So it's part Sims, part SimCity?
I suppose that's a good way to put it. Part maybe
I think we're losing.
Part super cutesy.
We're losing you. You have no defense over this. We're just gonna have to drop it. It's a shitty. Oh, no.
I will remain hating on it, even though I've never played it for a single minute in my life.
I'll say this: try it, borrow it, play it for a few days, and see if your tune changes at all.
I'll have to borrow it from you. And man, they just keep churning them out too. I believe there's one coming out for the Wii U, right?
The only reason I dislike Animal Crossing. The only reason I dislike it is because I feel like a lot of times when Nintendo comes out with something cool, like a new amiibo or a new Smash character, they have to sneak in some Animal Crossing stuff. And I'm just like, you guys are just wasting time with this. It's like, take the resources that you took spending like to make this Animal Crossing thing and just make like, something else, like like a Zelda thing or like a Star Fox thing instead, which obviously that's not the case, but that's usually how it feels for me. It's why I kind of sour on it a little bit.
It maybe that may be the case. Maybe we're just hating because we don't know. We never firsthand had any experience. Now, if I play it for 5 minutes and I'm not buying it, it's just I'm done. I'm done. But
You need that instant gratification.
that makes me
A
sound
turtle-
like a straight up millennial. But
A turtle sings to you while taking you to an island to hunt for bugs. I mean, what else do you want?
Wow. Fun? Maybe fun?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Ian made that was a little strong though. I didn't mean to come off like that.
Well, another game that is Animal Crossing esque, I guess, which that is on my list is Minecraft, which I never really understood the hype. I never got into it, and I know a lot of people who do play it, and I think obviously Microsoft knew what they were doing when they bought it for billions and billions of dollars, but that's like one thing that I don't know. I never really got into.
That is understandable. I just don't have the creative mind for it. I don't like building shit. I want it all being built. I want it built for me. Don't put me in that situation, because all I'm gonna do is make like a shitty little house and then that's it. Which I don't even know if I can build the house properly, to be honest. And it's like on every God-given platform, so like
Yeah.
it's almost hard to avoid. Although that HoloLens makes it look mighty interesting, but fuck that shit. I'm not gonna get positive about it, and fuck that game.
Yeah, I like your energy here.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. Totally. I think it's one of those things, kind of like Little Big Planet, but on steroids. Like, if you had time, if you were a kid with nothing else to do and you had time and you could get like some rep with your friends, you'd probably be all about it. But none of us fit that description. So
Right, and I think another problem I have with it, kind of in my own like, there it is. It all comes full circle. One issue that I have with Minecraft that I guess bothers me on a weird level is that every time I see a kid playing it on their iPhone or iPad, I'm just thinking you're basically just playing Legos, but in your phone. So just play Legos instead. That's so much. That's so much more fun. And I have this like. I have this weird feeling. This is like the grumpy old man in me talking, but I have this feeling that kids are gonna know what Legos are one day. They'll be like, "Oh, you mean like Minecraft on my phone?" And even Legos now, they're coming out with like a Minecraft clone of a game, kind of arriving late to the party. But
Yeah, and so is Dragon Quest is getting on that, which that might change Tom's mind as far as like that pretty much the building block kind of game going on.
okay, so I'll say, for one thing, I definitely agree that we have grumpy old man syndrome, like kids these days and their Minecraft and their blocks and blah blah. But I like the retro look of it. It's
Right.
cool. It's gotten a lot of kids I know, kids you're related to, Nick, into like pixely type games, like pixel art stuff, which at least sort of, no?
Yeah. All right. You're making a good point.
yeah, this isn't what this episode's about.
yeah.
But this is about hate. But that's
Yeah.
its only redeeming quality. Now, what are you talking about, Dragon Quest? We're going to be building shit now? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, not to go too off topic, but they basically are making their own Minecraft where you can. I didn't look too deep into it. It looked nice, but you know what? I'm not about it, and like maybe you will be, but I'm not gonna let that. I'm not gonna get
I don't know,
swayed
man.
over.
I might be about Slimecraft.
Just one last thing about Minecraft in general, which is my overall problem with it. I just feel like it feeds into the like kids don't go outside and play anymore kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go outside and get your knees dirty and go, dribble a basketball or something. But I just that's just like my one thing. Like maybe if one day I have kids, I'm gonna be like, hey, look, I bought some like cool toys or something. Like, no, Dad, it's not Minecraft like 3 or whatever is out by then. It's like, man.
Have you guys seen the meme that people have been posting on Facebook? It's a picture of a bunch of bikes in someone's front yard. They're like, before cell phones, this is how I knew where my friends were. You know what? It sucked. I lived back then. It sucked. I'm just going to put that out there, too. And say that Minecraft also sucks.
Well, real quick, we got a shout out from the chat that Batman Arkham Knight was overhyped on a recent game that just came out.
That's... Oh, I'm playing Arkham... I'm playing Arkham City right now, doing that backlog clearing, and it's good to know that I have that piece of crap to look forward to now.
Yeah, I mean, so do I, but I haven't heard too much positive about it. I mean, it's been really mixed, but then again, I'm speaking for the PC community, but that's just another subject we'll have to dive into later.
Shit, that might be my hate.
Episode.
That might be the genre I hate right there, the PC games, but go on.
Oh, wait, well, might as well get into it.
Yeah, actually,
what do you got?
what did you have specifically that you wanted to bring up on the hate train?
Specifically, I'm this is not as specific as you maybe want, but I'm sick of like part fours. I don't really know that I want to see an Uncharted 4. I'm not really sure I want to see a Gears 4. I'm not really sure I want to see like part 4 of a lot of games. Like
God of War 4.
Yes, Mass Effect, which was a fine trilogy. Like I love what you guys did. Now let's go ahead and take that same technology and all that same creative force and start a whole new story, a whole new setting. Because damn, like you wrapped the story up, but oh wait, but it's not over yet. It's really irritating, and I don't get why people don't get sick of it. Like I love those games, but damn, let's move on.
Blame Resident Evil 4 for that one.
Ooh, I know, and the rumored 7 that's coming out. Turn it over.
Resident Evil 4 was like the elixir for all those old franchises. They're just like, maybe we need to reinvent the mechanics a little bit and have some, different, shooting, whatever. And that's what happens. I mean, granted, it was a good game, but it doesn't always work that way.
They chanced on a hit and they went away from their formula, though, right? That was kind of the thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like some of these part 4s that are coming out aren't deriving away from the formula or reinventing anything or starting anything new, and that could be a little bit I mean, yeah, they're hitting you in the sweet spot as far as like, oh well, another one's coming out, because trust me, it's happening to me with Gears, but like, is it going to be more of the same?
Right, like what the hell are they gonna do in Gears? They killed the grubs or whatever, and the emulsion stopped or whatever the hell happened at the end. Like now,
it's like, well, it's the same. It's like, what are they gonna do with Toy Story 4? It's like 3 ended great, just let it be. But
please tell me you're kidding.
You didn't know that? Yeah, they're definitely a 4, 5, and 6. But
oh my god,
that's getting a little off topic. Before we hopped on here, I went through a few websites, like their worst or most overrated games, like top 10 lists. Do you guys? I have some names here. Do you have some guesses as to what made their list?
I want to say Call of Duty.
All right,
and I kind of cheated because I looked at the guy on the chat.
Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
Any other guesses? There's some gimmies on these lists. It was consistent, some of these games across all these lists.
I'm afraid some of the games that I favor may be on this. I want to say Zelda.
There was Skyward Sword, but that was like a one-off thing. I was like, that wasn't that overrated.
No, it wasn't. The thing is like they reinvent. Don't get me started on this.
There's a few games that showed up on every list. One of them being Final Fantasy VII.
Yes. Success.
Showed up on every list. Assassin's Creed showed up on every list.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I'll agree with that.
And that was actually on my list too. It's once I figured out, once I learned like the real meaning behind all the history and all the stuff you do in the game, I was just like, it sounds dumb. They couldn't just keep it to where you're a dude in the time or whatever. And weirdly enough, actually, this game popped up on a few lists. Black and White, like an old school PC game that came out like more than 10 years ago.
Does that have like some kind of cult following or something?
Yeah, well, that guy Peter Molyneux made it, and I think people just like to hate him. So for some reason, that game showed up on a bunch of lists, which I didn't really understand.
That was the one. I thought you were like competing deities or something in that game.
Yeah.
I remember it being sold as like the best thing ever made.
Yeah, and then Halo and Gears were on the lists too, but
yeah. Well, speaking of those shooters, one I'd like to mention before we kind of move on is Destiny. I don't get it.
Yes.
I don't get
that
it.
Was on my list too.
It's good. Like oh my god, I don't even know where to start.
Well, actually, weirdly enough, Nick, our buddy Andrew, right? Like one of the biggest cynics alive.
Yes.
He was hating on Destiny so bad, and then his girlfriend started playing it, and now every time I talk to him, he goes, "Oh, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Like they released content and stuff." So I'm like, "What's going on here? You hated this game so bad, and then." I don't know. Maybe you just got to try it. Do some raids.
And I think that's where a lot of the hate stems is where it's almost like you absorb like other people's like feelings and stuff if you read too much about it or read too into it, like especially like comments. I love reading comments, but sometimes it's a bit much. And then eventually like it becomes a sort of fact for you. Like when you keep reading it, it's like, oh yeah, that game fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like
keep telling yourself.
Like there was a podcast that me and Dimitri listened to where LA Noire was discussed, and like we never even tried the game at all, but they shitted on that game for an hour and a half, 2 hours, to the point where we're like,
By the end of it,
we're never playing that because it sounds terrible.
well, that plus I saw memes online that was like, doubt basically doesn't do anything. So you'd get the same answer whether you said lie or doubt.
I don't know. Sometimes I go against the grain. Like if the general consensus is something sucks, like I try to like it anyway. And I tried that with Destiny. Like I started playing after the whole hype crest had moved past, and I started playing it, and I'm just like, I mean, does this get fun at some point? Like it strikes me as a very middle of the road shooter. That's kind of just frustrating in parts, and I just.
Is it one of those things where you gotta sink like 300 hours in to get elite items and then actually be able to do dungeons and co-op stuff?
It's one of those things like Diablo. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
Which Dimitri was a huge player of Diablo, so he.
Oh, man.
I think I believe he gets what you're saying.
in my lifetime, Diablo 2 is probably the game I put the most hours in, because for at least 2 summers, I spent just about every day doing Mephisto runs and cow level runs. So yeah, Diablo 3 I was way hyped for, and yeah, I was not a big fan.
That's
And back to my buddy Andrew again, he keeps like sending me, oh, there's a new patch coming out, I tested it and blah blah blah, and he's like 10 pages worth of text, and I'm just like, dude, no, I have it uninstalled, I'm probably not going to reinstall it. Yeah, it's just bad because all their initial design philosophies in that game that came out like 3 years ago have been removed, you know, from the auction house on to the way just about it plays. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that's the highest-selling PC game of all time, and I don't see anything dethroning it anytime soon. Like, it sold like 10 million copies in like an absurdly short amount of time.
WoW 2, just count on WoW 2 to do it. But then it's the same. It's the same
WoW,
company.
WoW 2
Blizzard.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and transition us at this point. We'll probably discuss some more games on the bonus segment, but I want to talk about some of the games that people are getting really excited for that are coming down the line and don't get it, not buying in. So, Dimitri, do you have one
Oh, yeah.
that you're just not buying?
Oh yeah, I've talked about it before, but it's worth bringing up again. I don't understand where the love for Shenmue 3 is coming from. It's like the first game for Dreamcast was okay. That pretty much if you had a Dreamcast, you had to buy it because that was one of the only things to play. The second game on the Xbox, nobody bought. So then at that point, the franchise was dead. So then all of a sudden, they have a big reveal at E3, and then there's all these like fanboys for Shenmue coming out out of nowhere. I mean, and I think. Like the Kickstarter thing, people were just doing it just for the hype of it all.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't understand where it's all coming from.
Well, what it is people are riding the Dreamcast dick, and they've been riding it for the past like 6 years. So
Where do I gotta go to get some of that? That Dreamcast dick. Wow.
it's
shaped like that.
Or those are Dreamcast balls.
It's
to ponder.
2 smaller ones.
yeah.
Yeah, where were all these fans when the Dreamcast could have used some support back in the day? They need to shut up.
Yeah.
I know.
or even the second one that came out for Xbox. It's like nobody showed up for that. So obviously, you know, if you're not going to contribute to it, then they're not going to make any more of it. And I think it's going to be one of those things where it comes out and people are going to be like, "Wait, why did we back this? Why did we get so excited about this?"
Oh, I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, I could see that happening the second that thing comes out, and it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Tom, do you have one of these that the hype is real but not for you?
Yeah, I liked Eco back in the day.
Oh no!
So, like, it was cool. It was unique. It was something different.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And
This was my number 2.
I like a giant owl, bear, lion creature as much as the next guy. But what's so exciting about Last Guardian? Like, in that demo footage, I was like, oh, okay, I played this before.
It does look like more of the same, doesn't it?
Yes, very much so.
PlayStation 3 graphics, and obviously it's like really early gameplay footage that they showed that.
PS3 3.5.
But everybody was going crazy during the trailer, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, maybe something I don't know, like the trailer didn't really excite me too much, so it's kind of hard to get hyped for something. I think that's like another thing that it just has its legacy to just base all its hype around.
Yeah. People like the animal. I think they wanted the creature because it looked very beautiful in the early renderings and stuff. You're like, wow, I can't believe they're doing that on a video game console. And then, like, now I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'll get it when it comes to like a perfect collection where they package that in with Shadow of the Colossus and Eco.
Wow, you're gonna wait that long? That'll take a good year or two.
I'm playing a Batman game from 2011 or something, man. I have like plenty of backlog games to get through.
Yeah,
Oh, man, let's not even get started on that.
What do you
Episode on that.
What do you got? You got something, Nick, that you don't understand the hype for?
I don't understand the hype for XCOM 2. That people are losing it. I've never seen that people getting so like ravenous about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna upgrade my PC, and like, oh my god, you see the graphics on that? Like,
there was crazy love for Enemy Unknown.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but I just couldn't. I knew I couldn't get sucked into it because, as all strategy RPGs, like, you're gonna have to like sink a sick amount of hours into it to like really make some progression. Or maybe I'm just talking shit out of my ass, but it's
one thing I don't understand with that game, with those games, is like you do your turn and then somebody dies and you got to restart your turn,
Yes.
like Fire Emblem style. And I think like Fire Emblem likes to tout that, it's got permadeath and all that, but is it really permadeath if you just restart your turn the second somebody dies and you replay through anything? That's why it's another one I was like,
I mean, the consequences are real. If something really awesome happened that you want to retain, is it worth sacrificing that team member? I found XCOM to be just... I played Enemy Unknown, and that was my first exposure to it, and I found it to be just, like, dick in a cheese grater, like, annoying. Like, God, what am I doing here?
Oh, that could be a bit much. Ooh, I'm seeing something real quick. I'm gonna chime this in. I wanted to wrap it up, but we'll end it off with this one. Star Fox Zero is gonna be overhyped.
No way. There hasn't been a Star Fox game or a good one, I'd like to say, since forever. So there's no chance they let that one fail. I mean, if it ever comes out, that's one thing, but
I'm skeptical, man. I think that is overhyped. I have the nostalgia factor as much as the next person, but I agree that is that's not gonna live up to the hype.
No chance.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, on that note, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up. If you liked this video, go ahead and comment and subscribe. Check out the links below in the description for links to gamerslife.guru and Turbo Ether Facebook. Follow the Turbo Ether Twitter and the Gamers Life Guru Twitter. And I think that's gonna wrap it up, guys. So had a really good time letting out all the hate, and may the Triforce be with you.
Oh, MOBA suck.
I think you're supposed to do a triangle now.
I might as well complete it.
Yes, there you go.